I had started real fast.
This is for Lisa. I know it's Andre's birthday since I couldn't buy Andre some Lisa something. Open your room.
Oh, a woman like April, a woman like you, a woman like you.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. This is wonderful. Andre's mom.
Oh,
Beautiful.
oh, that's nice. That's beautiful.
Coffee every morning. Andre's mom.
All right, can we get your attention for the reading?
It's a day to celebrate you. Hope it's full of happy moments, great memories, and many reminders of how much you mean. Happy birthday. We love you and we miss you. Uncle Grover and Miracle.
I'm so thankful to have a happy for a brother. It seems every birthday gets a little more meaningful, a little more special in the heart. Maybe it's because each year as we grow older, family ties become more and more important. So on your special day, it seems especially important that you know exactly how thankful I am to have you for a brother. Happy birthday from Alana Renee Hurd and Alyssa Imani Hurd.
Oh.
We were blessed to have you in our lives. We believe there are people who were put on our lives for a reason. People who influenced and showed us in big and small ways. You were that person for me. We couldn't let this day go by without letting you know what a blessing you were to us. Have a wonderful, heavenly 29th birthday. Bruce and Poochie. For you, brother, wishes for a wonderful birthday. Andre, I thank God every day for all the smiles, the laughter, the good talks, the perfect memories that I had the opportunity to share with you. Those things alone are what gives me God sometimes. More like my child than my brother, our bond was deeper than words can describe. Today and every day, I want you to know that you mean so much to me. And you are thought of, and you were very special to so many people. God blessed me tremendously when He gave you to me, even for such a short amount of time, and I will forever be grateful. For being a friend as well as a brother, for the fun and the good times we share with each other. For all these reasons and many more too, I will cherish your memory forever. You are love you with everything in me, April and Aria.
Once upon a time, there was this person who came into the world in an ordinary way, and every day that person learned a little more and grew a little more. That person had talents and gifts and thoughts and ideas like nobody else. That person had love to give and happiness to share. And that person made a difference in other people's lives every single day. So as it turns out, the day that person came into the world wasn't ordinary at all. It was the beginning of the unique and important life of extraordinary you. Happy birthday. Love always and forever, your cousin Ashley. I know. We got the same card. for you, brother, wishes for a wonderful birthday. For being a friend, which this was unplanned. For being a friend as well as a brother, for the fun and good times we've shared with each other, for all of the reasons and many more too. Hope today is especially happy for you. We will always cherish your memory. We love you, Calissa.
Thinking of you on your birthday. On your birthday, I'm thinking what an all-around great person you are. the kind who shows up, helps out, and cares so much for others. And that's just who you are. And that's why you're celebrated today. Happy birthday. To not be forgotten, always love, Uncle Red, Aunt Clarissa.
Being a person of few words, I simply want to wish you happy birthday. And being a person of a few dollars, I only got you this car, the Holman family.
Keep soaring high in the heavens. Wishing a very happy birthday to our beloved Andre. Rest in peace, young angels. You are sorely missed. Love, Aunt Wanda Page and Cousin John.
Celebrating you, nephew. Here's to a nephew with good-hearted ways, with talents and dreams that always amaze, with genuine charm that's tough to outdo. Here's to incredible, wonderful you. Happy birthday. Miss your hugs. Love, Mama Cheryl.
And she said Mama Cheryl and Uncle Don.
Right.
She can't lie. She can't lie. Can't lie to pass.
Wait, it doesn't say Uncle Don.
You right there. You right
A birthday wish for someone special. When celebrating is finally done, may you have one last small birthday gift. The happy feeling that comes with knowing that you have a special place in the hearts of many people. And loving memory, Andre. Happy heavenly birthday, Andre. You are missed and loved, but not forgotten. Peter Bridget Essence. Peter Bridget Essence.
He said Uncle Don.
Big hugs, happy thoughts, good vibes. Dre, I miss you more than words could ever express. I hope you're happy and at peace wherever you are. You're still so loved, you'll always be loved. Thanks for the memories and for being the coolest big cousin. Love, Deja.
Okay, this one's for me. For you, so. A son is the woman's hope, a promise, the pride of your heart, and the joy of your life. You're just the kind of son every parent dreams of having. The kind of son who makes every day happy. The kind of son to be proud of and loved. And that's why your birthday is just the right time to let you know how much you mean to me. Happy birthday. I love and miss you so much, Andre.
Calls for the balloon release. So we want to go.
Well, tell our story.
Yeah, if anybody have any, and that's why I wanted to come back up here and say that usually this don't happen, but I think it's because all of y'all here. This is always such a happy time for me, and it still is, but I think all of y'all are just making it so emotional for me. So I don't want y'all to, feel bad or anything, it's just I just had a moment. But I don't want anybody to come up here who want to tell anything about Andre. Y'all got funny stories or anything you got to say? Okay.
April will remember this one. This one came, which I've told Kimmy the story before. She was about a year old. I think me and April had to go somewhere, and Camry's car seat this is when you had your black Infiniti. And we had to run and do something, so we had to leave Camry with Andre. He was like 15 or 16, so of course, he's like, wait, what am I supposed to do with her? And just watch her, I don't even think she was walking yet, so it wasn't like, she could go walk all around. We lived in a small apartment, just watch her, throw some, goldfish crackers at her and turn on it, make sure she don't like stick her hand in the socket or something. We were gonna be gone for like less than an hour. Well, right after we left, she had a big old diaper blowout. She just filled her britches. Do you remember this, April? She had filled her britches all the way up. Oh, you went to drop me off to like get my wick or something. I was getting my wick and everything. And so April came back home and, checked Camry's diaper, and there was a bunch of little crumbs in the diaper. And she said, Andre, what happened? He said, well, right after you guys left, which I'm telling the third person because April told me. She said, well, she pooped after you guys left, and so I changed her diaper. April said, well, but did you wipe her? And I did the best I could. She said, I did the best I could. It was just a lot of it. He said, after 2 wipes, I just put the other diaper back on. I just remember, she said, April was like, yeah, it was all kind of little brown crumbs in there. And she was like, well, what happened? Like, what's going on here? And that just tickled me because, he was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
child, tell him what to do.
But I was like, I told you that story, haven't I, Kim? I told you that before, right? No, I didn't tell you.
Aw, that was good.
Well, ever since Judy said that we were going to get up and tell funny stories that we remember about Andre, well, you have to know Andre. Andre lived with me for a couple years. So, but Andre, he was a kid that never got in trouble. So you expect boys to get in trouble at some point, right? He was the perfect little kid. He would come in, he would give you hugs, and he after school and tell you he loved you every day. So you know that this is the perfect little kid. Well, one morning, one of the girls that worked for me, she got on the computer. And she said, Mama Cheryl, she said, there is some stuff on your computer that shouldn't be on there. So I said, she looked and she told me what was on there. Oh boy, I was steamed up. I was speaking to Dawn. So good morning was so good about the morning. And so, and Andre is a kid that's not gonna lie, okay? And so, so I walked around all day. I was like, so I couldn't believe it. It's 12 o'clock and this stuff happened at 12. That child should have been in bed, sleep, getting ready for school the next morning. And so that day, so the girl Renata that found it on the computer, she was saying, Cheryl, but don't be mad at Pastor Sanford. That's probably not him. Just ask her. I said, Andre wouldn't do that mess, and you get somewhere and sit down. Don't be trying to put that on him. That baby don't even know no stuff about that kind of stuff. And so when he came in from school, I just thought, well, maybe I'll just ask Andre so I can really be mad. So here I go, Andre, were you on the computer last night? Yes, ma'am. Were you watching something so-and-so? Yes, Mama Cheryl. And so I said, what was she watching? He told me what he was watching. And I was like, I feel like a fool. I feel like a fool. And then I I couldn't tell no I was mad. But that was so funny to me because I wouldn't expect nothing for Andre. And I'm thinking he down in the bed sleep, you know, because Andre, he was the perfect kid. If you didn't know him, you would know what you would have never expected. But he said, yes, ma'am. And I said, he said, and then he gonna hug me and kiss me.
I'm sorry.
But that was Andre, and that was always funny to me because I could never tell that. I dropped D off over here. Cheryl was watching D and Andre. Cheryl, you remember this story. Cheryl was watching D and Andre. So when I come in the house, Andre told me D had beat him up. Now D was older than Andre. And D had beat up Andre. And I knew, I said, Andre, what did he D, I think D had him calling him master or something like that. No, you telling the story wrong.
Wait a minute.
Now, I called you and told you that D had.
I knew somebody had, I don't know who told me that D had beat. But he beat him up because D wanted Andre to call him master. You know, Master D. And so he beat Andre up because Andre wouldn't say Master D. I beat the heck out of D over here for beating Andre. Cheryl told me if you hit him one more time, I'm calling the police on him. All I can remember, my little sweet Andre. And D, he used to do Deja and Qua like that, had her calling him Master D. One time I caught him calling D Master D. And all that memory came back to me. Boy, I jumped in that day. I didn't hit it this time.
No, she beat him. Let me tell the rest of it. She beat him and she said, now fuck me out, nigga. Fuck me out.
Oh my.
But anyway, that's the only thing I can remember. That's always stick with me. That D had beat him up and then he was older than I told him to go wash his face.
And he met me and he goes, you're tall. Then he goes, you're funny. I can't understand what you're saying. I said, okay, right. Let me speak slower then. And he said to me, do you play basketball? I said, yeah, I'm okay. He goes, I'm all right too. So we went outside and he goes, okay, let's have some shots. And if I win, you have to give me $5. I thought, this sure is nothing. Bang, bang, bang. He loved his basketball and he was so kind and so nice. And I used to ask him, what do you want to be? I want to fight for my country. And I knew this boy is a leader and he loved hugs and he's in heaven, that's all I say. So he was my
Yes.
When all the other kids were teenagers, like Donovan and Dee and all of them, and I know they were a little bit older than Andre, but when all of them were, when everybody would come to town and everybody was going out, Andre would never go out. He would come to my house and play video games with Qua. And I would be like, Andre, you're finally kind of old enough. And he'd be like, And Andre would always stay over my house and he would play. That's never what he was interested in. He would stay over the house and they would all stay upstairs and play video games. And Qua was much older, much younger than them. So those are my memories of Andre staying in my house and playing video games with Qua.
Funny stories. It's just like the little things that you remember about people. I just remember when we used to live on Christopher Drive. If I remember when we used to live in those apartments and all. Yeah, we always live. I just remember like Andre used to always want to just tag along. He'd knock on the door, asking for us. Like he's like, "Is Ashley at home?" And then my mom be like, "No, she at school," because I think he wasn't old enough to go to school yet. And you know him just trying to tag along and I remember when he was older, even though he was like a strong military guy, he still gave the best, biggest hugs. And I always look forward to Andre's hugs.
Amen. Amen. Anybody else? You got something?
Okay. So Andre was like my best friend. We had about 8 years, 7
7 years between us. And I had a little sister too. He was younger than me, but me and Andre were, I went through my little stage when I was about 13, 14, trying to be on punishment, sneaking out and stuff like that. Boy, that Andre had my back. If she don't ask, she don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no, she did, but never broke. He never broke. I was about 6 years old, never broke. He been down like 4 flats on the Cadillac.
Can I move this right here? Over here to my sister. Okay, everybody. If anybody knows, I don't know if everybody knows, Kim and Andre. They had a special relationship. A lot of people don't really know their relationship. They just think, okay, nephew, this, that, and the other. But Kim and Andre were like this. When I had Andre, Kim came to the hospital because I had to have a C-section. And for the next, I guess, 2 weeks, I could barely walk. For some reason, I really don't know. I guess I had some kind of bootleg welfare doctor back then. He cut me from the rooter to the tuber. And seriously, I couldn't even stand up for like 2 weeks. Kim came to my house even after I was released from the hospital and stayed the whole time with me. And till I was able to walk and take care of him. But during that time, I think she thought that was her kid. She got attached to him. So we was kind of sharing him, during that time. So her and Andre always had their special. Yeah. I'm just saying during that time it happened, but through his life they always had their little special relationship, their little special bond. They developed things that me and Andre just didn't have in common, like their books. I'm not a reader. Kim's a big reader. All my kids are really, really big readers. And I mean, I would have books stacked. This whole wall, I could feel probably the books in my house from them 3 reading. And it didn't come from me. I probably have never read a book before in my life. And I'm serious. I mean, I can do the audio, but I have never really finished the whole book. I'm not a big reader. So they would do Harry Potter, and I think I'll let Kim finish up how they started reading Harry Potter, but she had to tell him she was going to get something, but he had to read the book first. He wanted to see the movie.
Okay. Andre, Dee told me that he was struggling a little bit in school. And I was like, oh no. I know, number one thing I know is you go to make it in school, you gotta have fundamentals of reading. And he had to be a strong reader. So I found out with the kids that at that time, that day, was all the kids, the rage was Harry Potter. All the kids' rage was Harry Potter at that time. So I went and bought him a Harry Potter book. And I gave it to him. And I told him, I said, here, read this. And he had that book for almost a year and barely read the first 3 chapters. He just would not buckle down. Then the movie came out, okay? And all his friends, everybody going to see Harry Potter. He wanted to go see Harry Potter. I said, oh no, you won't. You ain't going to see Harry Potter till you finish that book. And he was like, T. I said, you gonna read that book, and if you don't read the book, you ain't seen the movie. Well, he got to read it. Let me tell you something, that boy got to read it. He finally called me, T, I finished the book. I said, you read everything? I said, who in the book? He gave me some names. I said, okay. He said, can I go see the movie? I said, okay, we'll go this weekend. Well, I had to find the movie because it wasn't playing in the theaters no more. I did find it at a dollar theater. I found it at a dollar theater. And me and him went that weekend and we saw Harry Potter.
if Andre didn't sit there and tell me everything that was going to happen through that movie, I was like, can I watch the movie, brother? But he was so excited and so happy. Well, needless to say, I bought him the second and the third book, and before the second movie came out, he had finished the third book. He was on his way, and he read he was a reading dynamo from there. And I mean, his grades improved, and he went into heights I can't even talk about. But yeah, me and Andre, when he was born, see the confusion came when he was born. When they took him out, they handed him to me, and they put me out with him. And you was in there, and me and Andre, his little hand wrapped around my finger. His little hand wrapped around my finger so tight. And that bond was solidified. It was just done. From there on. And what Dee probably don't remember is at that time, I had my 3 kids, and I wasn't trying to have no more. But I was having I'm just saying. I had my little girl. I always wanted a little girl. I got my little girl out the door. But I was having some maternal urges, you know, to have a baby.
Don't look at her. I don't
know. He didn't have a baby, and that all of that I was feeling, I poured into Andre, and he was my baby.
That's good.
That was it. She just, Dee would call me and say, Kim, Andre want to do this. Andre want to do that. Because he was just like he was my baby. And that was, we thank you for sharing him. Yeah, he was, but thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Okay. At this time, our loved ones have made their way to you. To wholeness and perfect peace while we mourn the loss of their departure from us. Thank you that one day. Thank you that one day we will experience a joyful reunion forever in your presence. Amen. May your heart in this midst of sorrow be comforted with the assurance that one day God will turn our mourning into joy. With caring sympathy, love always, Candace and family.
All right.
Open door.
Promises of God's comfort and hope. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. John 11:25. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. The saying that is written will come true. Death has been swallowed into victory.
The ugly baby.
But thanks to God, he gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. May God's hope-filled promises be comfort to your soul and peace to your heart. We love you, Andre. Love cousins Darius, Deshaun, DeWarren, and Graceland.